This is my town.
Well, here it is. It is the Talk of Taylor, Daniel Seguin, Greg Redden. Talk.
Well, normally we get here about 9:15, and you push us till 9:30. So I apologize for being behind the ball on this one for folks.
Don't worry, it's not going to show up in your job review.
But Greg, you've been on the show one time before, right?
That is correct.
I feel like Greg's been around forever.
Well, not forever, but I've been around for a while. Yes, sir.
Yes, and tell us about. I'd love to hear kind of what made you get on council, and now that you're on, are things different than you expected?
Not really. Being on council is I've been involved in the community. With the Rotary, the rodeo, the American Legion. I've helped out with Cinderella's Closet. I've done work for the chamber.
Food dudes,
yes.
No, let's not let that go.
And with our business, we actually donate everything we make, besides taxes and insurance, to the community, giving back to the community.
And tell people that don't have a clue what you do.
Well, my wife and I opened up a small boat and RV storage place. It's called a Veteran Storage, and it's out there on County Road 366, 369. And right now we are full to the max with a waiting list, which is great to have it, but I need to expand it. And once
it sounds like an opportunity for a new business.
Well, not really a new business, just sort of get out there and work and do the expansion.
Right. Okay.
And I did all the work out there myself, except for the tall cover structures. I just don't bounce like I do when I was 22.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. So, but, to get on council, it was like, that was my next logical step. We're going to grow, and we need smart growth, and we need people that understand.
Oh, don't say smart growth. Don't you remember when Kirk Watson down in Austin was promoting smart growth all the time, and people just lambasted him for that? We need educated planning.
Okay, educated planning. Austin's got a $6.2 billion budget right now for this coming year, and they've got a shortfall.
Yeah,
if we had 6.2 budget, $6.2 billion here, we could do a lot. We could do every project that everybody ever thought of with that kind of money.
Maybe 7 or 8 billion. Let's be realistic here.
And no, that is not what the budget's going to be this year.
No.
Yeah, B with a B is in billion. I don't think we're quite there yet, are we?
No.
So the question was, Daniel asked you, why did you get on council?
With my background,
wasn't that the question?
Yeah.
Why and what's kind of been different than you thought it might be once you got on?
Well, like I said, I'm part of the community, so I get a few more calls. People go, well, who do I call about that? So they call me. Mm-hmm. So I've been out driving around looking at things and getting with the departments, that take care of the roads and stuff like that, and some of the larger potholes. So it's really not much difference, because I'm used to being out in the public. It's just that my word has a little bit more that carries.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So as we're coming into this budget cycle, right, what do you think is the most important thing to you as the council considers the budget, and what's most exciting?
Well, some of the most exciting is getting a few more people into the city, because with good people comes good ideas and good work. We've got a downtown director we're getting ready to interview and hire. And with that, the Main Street is going to explode, because we got somebody that we actually did basically a headhunter for to go out and find the best quality people throughout the U.S. to get them interviewed and brought in. And that will be a wealth of knowledge that we can build our downtown and get the walking traffic that we need.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think downtown is, at least for, and we did a survey recently. We haven't finished parsing through the results, but one of the things that I noticed in it already is how much our young folks really love the downtown. Your under 30s, especially under 35. And that's the same for me and my family. We absolutely love coming downtown. We love shopping at the restaurants or eating at the restaurant, being at the local shops and the coffee shops and all that kind of stuff. So I think our downtown has a huge opportunity for thriving in the near future.
If you're downtown Taylor on a Saturday around 10 o'clock, It's amazing the people that are walking the streets, going to and from shops. There's a tremendous opportunity retail-wise down here because the crowds are here. You know, you see them walking.
There is, and part of the hard part, I think, for some of these businesses is their hours. You know, there are a lot of folks coming down here late in the evening when some of them aren't open, right?
Yeah.
And then there is also one of the things that I heard from our Main Street department is that when there's gaps where there's, you know, a filled building and then an empty one and then a full one, folks will often not go beyond the empty one. They'll think, oh, well, this one's empty. You know, the rest down this street probably are empty as well. So if we can get more businesses to move into the downtown, and businesses with staying power as well, right, with good business plans and a good concept for what Taylor needs as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Chamber's doing right now is they're doing that, educating entrepreneurs to come in. And I know that y'all are donating some.
We are.
Some
We're
airtime
doing
for
some
it.
airtime for it. I've got to go give a talk. I don't remember when, but I'm sure Tia will let me know.
I bet you Rachel will call you.
Rachel will call me. Tia will call me.
Yeah.
Show up.
And that's just it. You know, when business in town, we need people that want to come in and they've got an idea, and this program that they're doing at the Chamber will help them understand some of the things they may not have actually thought about prior.
But I do think there's some other things, too, that the city needs to look at as far as bringing small business down to downtown. It's going to take some grant money, I think, for some of these folks to get off the ground and get launched.
Well, the EDC does have some funding to help out.
There's going to be a need for, a business partner, you know, with the city to understand that rents are a challenge here.
They really are.
You know, and you can't just kick that big elephant over in the corner and not address that. Rents, because of skyrocketing, you know, appraisals of a building, you know, it's tough. That's a tough hurdle that's got to be addressed if you want to see that true small entrepreneur get off the ground. They've got to be able to afford the first 18 months.
Right. Yeah, and that's where, you know, we had a presentation from the appraisal district at the council meeting last month, or this month, excuse me, on the 10th. And one of the big things that I didn't even realize that I learned from that meeting was that the appraisal district is mandated by the state to set property values at market value based on sales that have happened over the last 1 to 3 years, depending on the type of property. So
for commercial property.
For commercial, it's 3 years.
But there's an adjustment that's taking place right now.
Right. And they do take into account, you know, current sales and weigh those heavier is what the appraiser said, heavier than past sales. But because of that restriction and requirement, they set it at market rate. They can't say, well, you know, in our opinion, these are all speculative purchases from investors, and maybe these buildings aren't worth as much as people think, right? They can't do that legally. They're required to set it at market rate, so it creates some challenges for us.
We have a partner. We have a Williamson County city, and I'm not going to name the name of the town, okay, but it's on 95, that an investor came in and bought all of their downtown, bought it all, and it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Because what he expects for rates are New York City rates, where I think they're from, and they ain't going to get it. And that city is stuck because this guy will not yield on any of it.
Right.
So how do you address things like that? That's something to be thought through.
The appraisal did talk about some one-offs. If they take a look at something and they paid an extraordinary amount for something, they may end up dropping that off of their what's the word I'm looking
statistics.
for? Yes,
there's a mean, median, and mode.
Yeah, so they may drop that off. So
median, they want to adjust the highs to make the median fit more in line.
They eliminate those outliers. Is the words they use.
Exactly.
Right. Outliers.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
that's the word right there.
Yeah. But so our downtown needs help, but we also, you know, some of the things they passed in 24 for part of the south side over here is they're going to put a sidewalk in. and it's going to go from 95 all the way down to the Dickie Gibbons Center. And to be able to do that, it hasn't broke yet, but when it does, it'll be much easier to walk, because I walk that neighborhood, and I've gone over there and talked to the residents and asked what they've needed, and that's one of the things, to be able to get around the mobility of it all. So that's coming. They haven't seen it yet, but it is coming. It's in the budget to be done. Yeah,
in fact, it's actually the design process is underway. It's 90% complete, and because Martin Luther King is a TxDOT roadway, it's a farm-to-market road. We require approval from them to work on these projects, and then it crosses the railroad tracks twice. And so once on MLK and once on Robinson Street. Actually, the project will continue up Robinson Street as well. And so because of that, we have to go through Union Pacific reviews as well as TxDOT.
And we all know how fun Union Pacific is to work with.
That is true.
They're quick to tell you they were here long before you were.
Yes. And so they can be challenging, but we've been really lucky with some of the partnerships we've had with them in the past, and so we're hopeful that those get through approvals quickly. But we expect that design to be completed here in the fall, and once the design's completed and approved by the appropriate parties, then it will go out to where folks will bid on it, contractors, and then construction can start. And so we're hopeful it'll be complete sometime in spring of next year, possibly late spring, early summer, and so. And then we have another project that ties into that, right, Greg?
Yeah, we've got the one that the
Council Member Redden. We got to get used to saying that.
We got to get used to saying that.
I've got to be used to hearing it. Somebody said something about that the other day, and I went, "Who?" But yeah, we do. We've got the sidewalk that we're going to build. We're going to tie in from the Dickie Gibbons Center, and they call it a switchback, but we're going to put in a walking trail down that meets the walking trail, so they can actually get up and down, and so we can improve the walking trail and the sidewalks going down Doak Street.
Now that when were you swore in?
May 13th.
Okay, and it's July.
Yeah.
How many times have you been swore at?
No more than a normal, so it's maybe a little less.
No more than when you get home, right?
Yeah. Well, not when I get home, but I spend a lot of time with a bunch of veterans, so there's a lot of swearing.
And when does that project start out at American Legion?
We are looking to get the fencing put up by the end of this week. End of this week.
That quick?
Yes, we're going to start putting the fencing up, and once we do that, we will no longer be holding any meetings at the hall, but we'll do some of the stuff from the pavilion when we do our beer lunch.
May I suggest Sirloin Stockade? It's where all the cool people meet.
This is true, but we need a little bit more.
That room won't hold all y'all?
The attitudes won't hold. We got to have someplace out. It's like when somebody quits smoking, you put them out on a deserted island so they can swear.
So they can just get used to the aggravation. I don't know that I've seen any of the bunch since July 4th, but what a great event.
Oh, it was wonderful.
You guys, I am so proud to be a part of that with the station. And the weather may not have been cooperative all that well, but I've never seen a fireworks show in the raid before, but there's a first time for everything. Taylor didn't know we had music set to the fireworks show till this year.
So one of the funniest things about that is we've got a registered Brit soldier that we do a lot of work with here, Steve Smith, and he's actually going to be one of the general contractors for the...
Okay, now, what is a red soldier?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a British. He is British soldier. And
it's a guy with a great mustache.
Yes. So what was so funny is I had my...
America 1, England 0.
Well, he calls 4th of July their Thanksgiving. But what was so funny is I had the radio station on, and I had it so we could hear it.
Right.
And here's Steve going, when they're singing American the Beautiful, he goes, "Turn that up." And I'm like, I never thought I'd hear that from you to say turn up that song. But yeah, great event with the 3 bands we had.
Oh, Dale Watson. And let me tell you, thank you for the opportunity to plug something. Dale Watson's Ameripolitan show starts here August the 3rd at 5. Okay, and he sent me the first show. I got chills. It is so good. You're going to love it.
Yeah,
Dale Watson. Ameripolitan Radio on KRXT 5 p.m., August the 3rd. That's his launch date. It's going to be good.
Yeah. But we've already started talking about next year's 4th of July.
Oh, good. We should.
We're thinking that the fireworks show won't be any longer, but we're going to spend twice as much on it to make it bigger and louder for that 15 minutes.
Wait a minute. Do you think all those people in that neighborhood really want you louder? They might want more, but maybe not loud.
Well, it's going to be more in just a shorter amount of time, so it will be louder. So,
see, Steve, the best part of fireworks, at least in my opinion, is that feeling you get in your chest when they're exploding above your head. It feels like, it's like sitting in front of a really great base,
it's like
but
going
better.
To the Sphere in Vegas.
Yes.
You're surrounded.
You're surrounded. And that's just such a great feeling that helps, especially along with some wonderful music, puts you in this mindset of, the amazing things that our military have done for this nation and the freedom that we fought for. So,
well, I like a longer show with less loud. I just like to see it go off. So can you just put in, that's my thought right there.
I tell you what, we will film it and play it slow for you.
Thank you. Thank you. As I ride the short bus back home. Is that what you're trying to say? Wow.
Is there going to be a community survey on that one, Greg?
No.
Councilman
The
Redden.
American Legion, this is our way or the highway.
Well, it's not just that. People talked about it was raining. Y'all shot your fireworks off. I said, no, rain to a veteran is just liquid sunshine.
That's it. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I'm sitting over there with Paulie Al. And bless Paul's heart, he's got a DJ system in the back of his pickup. And it's playing. We're over at Memorial Baptist Church, right? And he and I and his whole clan are all out there, and they're having a big time. And Paul's playing this thing on this, I don't know where he got this Roadcaster, PA system, but it's just blaring. And every once in a while it would just go off, and you think, oh, crap, the station's off the air. No, Paul, your truck died. Your truck died. So you have to, it only idles, I guess that's some probably cafe law thing that your truck can only idle for so long.
It's like a 15-minute idle place on it when you buy it. There's a program to get in there. Have you seen
Paul try to get out of the back of the pickup bed 3 times? It's pretty funny. It's worth the price of admission.
You should do the Benny Hill music next time he does that.
Yeah, if I'd have thought. That'd be a good point, but nobody would have heard it in the back of his truck.
Well, we'd have heard it.
Oh, that's true. Paul's truck's off. So, we need to talk about the one issue that everybody seems to be talking about. Don't you think? Don't you think we need to address that? Sure. Let's talk about this this data center that has got people's ants in their pants.
Well, I've done a lot of research on it. And
sure you have. I believe that.
And you go back to the master plan that was passed back in 2023, November, and you can go in there, and it carried 4-1 to accept the master plan the way it was, and they changed a lot of language where they're going to put industry to employment center. But under there was so many things. So the gentleman that bought the land from the EDC checked every box. Every box he checked, and the only variance he wants is the height of the fence that goes around the generators and goes around.
Higher or lower?
Higher. From 4 foot, it was mandatory. He wants to go up to 12.
Oh, 12 foot.
He's going to do 12-foot walls around it.
That'll mitigate some of the noise, wouldn't it?
It really will. And one of the things that this data center will have that the other ones or won't have that the other ones do is they're not generating power on site. They're actually going to get it.
Grid.
They're going to get it from the grid, and they're going to put in a substation over there with Encore. And the substation that they built or that will build, they're going to use about 60 to 75% of the power that it has when they completely all 3 of their buildings that they have designed for. I went and talked to neighborhoods and businesses around some of the data centers in Round Rock. We've had 2 other council people go to different data centers and talk to neighbors. I actually had a good chance to meet Homeowners Association president in one, and they said the only noise we hear is right now they're doing construction, because when they built the substation, They did not build it big enough, so they're going to have to increase the substation, and they're working on their second building over there. And I actually put my hearing aids in so I could hear any pitches I normally can't hear. So that's why I know. So I didn't hear anything different, just the vehicle traffic going in and out, and then 45.
Right.
And then some of the questions is, well, what about lithium batteries? Well, for fires. This substation, our data center is not going to have any lithium batteries because they're getting the power from the grid. But they will have the backup generators, and they're so much quieter now than they used to be because of all the emission stuff that we have to have on our
the backups?
Yeah, for the backups.
I have one of those. And you don't know, when the power goes off, that thing kicks on, you can't hear it from anywhere in the house.
Is yours natural gas or is it
propane?
Diesel? Propane. Yeah, these will be diesel generators that they have out there.
Okay.
But and they just
so it sounds like this is nothing like the project at Thorndale's, right in the middle of all that brouhaha over, because they have cooling towers and all that power generation and all the emissions of all that. This is going to be like a Tesla.
It will be
real quiet.
It will be quiet because the water system that they use to cool it is a closed loop, sort of like your radiator. So it's designed not to lose water, not to overuse the water. And that's why they say the majority of the water use will come from the employees that are there.
One other thing, too, here in Taylor, we have our industrial wastewater ordinances. So industrial pretreatment, excuse me. So when an industrial company is coming in, they're going to be using the wastewater system. If they're putting any water into the system from an industrial process, then they have to have that water especially tested and treated to make sure it doesn't affect our other wastewater systems.
So do they release water?
No, they won't. Only when they do like yearly
Flushing?
PMs and flushing, because you have to do that in whatever system you have.
And so that's what I was getting to, was because of that, they're not going to have industrial pretreatment. They're not going to have a system to dump that water into our sewer system. So when they flush the system, they'll actually have to put it on trucks and haul it off to another facility. It won't be left on that site. It won't be poured on the ground. It's not going to be in our streams and waterways. Any sort of water coming out of that system will be dumped somewhere else and cleaned.
Oh, pushed on some other poor county.
Well, on a facility that has the capabilities to process out whatever chemicals might be in there, from the pipes that what water's flowing through, whether that's copper or whatever elements that the pipes are made of.
Most of those things are stainless steel, I think.
I think so.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think it's not really. Copper's more of a consumer product, and for the bigger things like that, I think it's stainless.
Yeah.
Man, I love rodeo. I cannot tell you how many times that I've been to a rodeo in my life and just had the time of my life.
Yeah, we used to do the Austin rodeo quite a bit.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, have you been to a rodeo?
Oh, of course I've been to a rodeo.
Oh, excuse me,
I grew up
sir.
in Northeast Texas.
You did.
I did.
That's right. The home of no rodeo that is memorable to me whatsoever.
You have never been to the Thompson, Texas Rodeo in Jacksonville?
No, but I have been to Jacksonville, the Tomato Fest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do know where that is.
No, that the Thompson, Texas Rodeo has been around, I think, 50-something years, and it's a big deal there in Jacksonville.
Bought a car in Maybank. How about that?
How
From
about
a little
that?
Chevy store over there one time.
I don't know if there's still car dealerships in Maybank anymore.
I think
There's
there's
a little wide spot in the road there.
Oh, be careful. Be careful. Speaking of wide spots in the road, here we are circling the wagons back to kind of wrap up our talk about this new data center that have got some people up in arms and gnashing of teeth and all that. We just learned that there's no generators except backup on site.
Correct.
There's no cooling towers for the generators that don't exist. So there's no water issues except for when the water is cleaned and it's trucked off for that. So, and there's no power plants generating power. It comes off the grid.
That's correct.
Right? So it's almost like a Singer sewing machine commercial.
Yeah,
It's smooth.
here's one of the main things, Steve, that I think folks haven't quite seen, and that is that this property's been zoned for industrial uses for well over 2 decades, and on record that we've found so far. And what that means in that industrial area is it could have been basically anything. That is the heaviest use that we have in the city of Taylor, and there aren't very many restrictions on what that property could have been.
So it's the cleanest form of industrial I think you can have, pretty much, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that could have been cleaner, because this is literally a fully self-contained building. It has to be extremely clean inside for the computers.
Sure.
It has to be extremely cool. There can't be any hazardous chemicals, any dust, any
So
other
let's just
issues within the facility.
Clear this up too. It's not a Bitcoin mining center.
No, Bitcoin is
way more power use.
Hungry. Yes.
Hungry. That's a good word. It's a data collection. It's like an Amazon server system.
Almost
place,
sort of like
that kind of thing.
The cloud. And the data
Cloud.
that's going to come in is actually going to be fiber optic. So there won't be any satellites out there to collect data coming down. So it'll be faster and it'll be cleaner.
So you don't have any of those major radio waves, like he's mentioning, that typically would come from, a satellite. Some folks are concerned about what those radio waves can do, right? We interact with them every day around us, but some folks are concerned about the more powerful waves that you might find at some data centers if they're using satellite.
You know what most folks should think about versus this? Is this little device I hold in my hand that there's more computing power in this phone than sent the astronauts to the moon?
That's true.
If you believe that we went to the moon, not saying one way or the other. You make your own decision. Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies in the world. You know how much radiation this puts out next to your head, next to your brain? I lost a dear friend of mine, about a year ago now, maybe two, that had brain cancer. And these phones, if you have them up to your head every day, I'm just saying, there's a lot of bad stuff in that. How'd we get off on that train? It just rolled off the tracks and over the side.
One thing about the data center, it actually passed council and the P&Z back in August of last year.
So you're taking zero credit for this pass.
Well, I'm not taking it.
So don't blame Greg.
That's okay.
Is that fair enough?
I didn't say it was my fault. They're just going to blame me. But one of the things that we've talked about because of this is when we have projects from now on, we need to do a better job in figuring out a way that we can reach all of our residents of Taylor to let them know what's coming, what's going on. I had somebody going, well, what's that up next to Starbucks? I said, well, that's going to be the Panda Express that goes in. Well, I didn't know Panda Express was coming in. Well, everybody did. They just didn't know where it was going. So we've talked about figure out a way to either put something back into the water bills.
Look, son, I'm gonna make it easy for you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
That's true.
Okay,
but at least put the information out there where they can find something on Taylor's website that Daniel and I have talked about, something in the water bill, because not everybody gets and reads the paper.
You didn't tell me that you put. I'm just squirrel all of a sudden. You didn't tell me you took a video of the ladies over at Taylor Feed and all that feed on the back of those two flatbeds.
I did tell you that.
No, you did not. But my goodness, thank you for all those that gave to that event.
I walked in over there one day last week to put money on the account.
I put money on the table for them.
And Amanda was in a bad mood because somebody was just ugly to her on Facebook, and she walked in. She was sitting down. She was she wasn't happy, and I walk in and start smiling. She's like,
"Thank you."
Pretty much. But
hey,
it's like,
you do realize that the KRXT coffee clutch is now in operation.
I did see your cups over there, and they were hanging on the
hanging on
the peg.
Now we can go over for the after show.
Well, there you go.
And host court over there if you want to join us at Taylor Feed. Not today.
Not today. If I want to go to court, I'll go to the courthouse.
Not the same thing. I said hold court, not carry out a court.
Okay.
Daniel, we haven't talked anything about Parks and Rec and all the things going on today. Did you bring any of that with you?
I finally, Steve, after many, 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 many shows of me coming and staring at Jared, asking for help on what's coming up.
Because I printed it out for you.
I also finally printed it out and brought it with me. That's what Aren't you proud?
We'd kill a lot of trees in this business. Being in radio, you'd think not so much, but we do.
Well, what's amazing is trees are renewable and they grow back, which is awesome. So we can plant more trees.
Did you hear? Were you listening to Bob and Eric this morning before we got on?
No, I was actually working.
Okay, well, there's a first. There's a
Man, you just gonna let that slide? He just took a big jab at you.
There's a disease.
I got thick skin. I didn't even hear what he said.
When you said
got
recycle,
my hearing aids in.
What?
What?
This show's really gone off the
way
rails.
downhill.
It's just gone off the rails. But there's a disease that they know is, and here I go with a conspiracy theory.
Oh gosh,
Florida only has 10% of the orange production in the country. And then we have to import oranges from Mexico and Brazil to make orange juice. Because Florida can no longer accommodate. Because there's some disease now that manufactured thing, they've proven it's manufactured, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I'll butcher it, but it's a Chinese name, that the oranges grow, but they never ripen. So they're just green on the trees. That's horrific.
Wow.
Who wants green orange juice?
Well, I'd also heard that the industry is kind of bracing for bananas to go the way of the last kind of, I don't remember what they were called, but you know how banana-flavored candy doesn't taste like bananas today? Mm-hmm. Well, apparently bananas used to taste like banana-flavored candy, like they were the same.
Yeah.
But that entire species of bananas was wiped out by a disease because they're all they don't duplicate and have genetic diversity, right? They're like copy-paste. All the banana trees produce the exact same bananas.
Right.
And so apparently...
Is that your intern?
Apparently our current types of bananas we use have the same vulnerability. So if we ever get a disease that can spread from banana to banana, they're gone.
Well, you remember reading this? We have just
Sounds like the Matrix, doesn't it?
It really does, it? Oh, well. We'll move on from that.
Well, you asked about what's kind of going on, Parks and Rec, library as well. Wanted to share, it was already shared online on our website, but our new library director just started this week, Amy Kais. We're really excited about her starting. She is coming to us from the Beaumont Public Library System and has worked in libraries in Fort Worth, McKinney, Louisville. We're really excited for what she's going to bring to the Taylor Public Library.
Well, this is going to be a big change from Beaumont. First of all, we have more than one book.
Well, they had more than one library as well.
Oh,
so
Beaumont?
they had two books.
Yeah.
They had two books down in Beaumont.
Man.
We need to get her on next week.
Well,
I'd like to meet her.
I'll talk to her and see when she's ready.
Well,
she's drinking from a fire hose
I
right
bet
now.
she is because she's got all these books lined up in these shelves. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they had this many books. Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be good. And then we also have some movies coming up at the Dickie Given Center, like you were talking about. Super Mario Brothers. That's tomorrow.
Yeah,
the 16th. Yep. And then July 23rd is Inside Out, and that one's going to be the sensory-friendly screening. So the lights will be on for any folks who have sensory concerns. And then July 30th, I believe that's the last one of the month, is Shark Tale.
Okay. You've overlooked the number one event in July.
Ice cream.
National Ice Cream Day with Parks and Rec is Sunday, July 20th at 1 o'clock at Heritage Square Park, right across the street from us. National Ice Cream Day. And I'd like to know just what kind of ice cream will we be serving. Do we know that? Is it Bluebell?
It's free ice cream?
That's
one of my favorite flavors.
Free is the best flavor, best brand.
I don't know
free
about
ice
that.
cream.
I asked you before the 4th of July, what kind of ice cream you serving up to Ice Cream Social? Greg goes, I don't know. I get over there. It's the greatest ice cream known to man. It's Bluebell. If you're having Bluebell, you ought to promote you're having Bluebell because people will show up.
Have you ever tried?
Nobody wants Melorine.
Have you ever tried Haagen-Dazs?
Well, Haagen-Dazs.
No. Haagen-Dazs, that's like Ben & Jerry's. I mean, who wants to support that cause? Bluebell, Brenham, Texas, cows, out leisurely grazing in pastures, no hormones, just delicious. I'm kind of picky about my ice cream. You don't know what Melorine is?
Oh, yeah. But you got to see some of the stuff we had in the core, it wouldn't melt in the sun.
It's like a certain burger joint that you could leave out forever and it never molds.
I'm going to make the case, 2 seconds, for Haagen-Dazs, right? Cream, eggs, sugar. That's it. They don't add other crap.
You said 3 words. I'm gonna give you 2.
Okay.
Bluebell.
We'll have to agree to disagree on this one, Steve. We'll just have to.
I can't believe you want a German ice cream.
It's not German.
Hagen.
It's not German.
Hagen is German.
It's a German word, but it's fake. It's to make it sound more sophisticated.
Kind of like their ice cream compared to Bluebell. I'm sorry. Bluebell ice cream. The best thing in the country.
Sponsored by? No.
Sponsored by
Bluebell. Reach out.
We
can do a sponsorship
ads.
on.
We run Bluebell ads here. You betcha.
Wonderful.
That Bluebell. If you put Bluebell Whataburger and a Buc-ee's together with an HEB, you'd have the greatest. People
That's
would
Texas
never leave.
heaven, isn't it?
People would never literally leave. That store. And I did hear where not Bluebell, HEB and Buc-ee's are talking about partnering together.
That'll be one of the.
Wouldn't that be a heck of a deal?
That'd be like the World's Fair. You get lost.
That would be like Bluebell ice cream and Bluebell ice cream. It's just perfect.
So you're definitely a 2 scoops kind of guy, I'm guessing.
I'm pretty much so.
Yeah.
But the 20th, that is going on.
And we do have one other program at the library. It's our Waterfest. It's the last big event of their summer program at the library. Waterfest today at 4:30. They're going to have a fire truck. I'm sorry, not today. Thursday, the 14th. Thursday, the 14th at 4:30.
Whoa. Today,
today's
somebody
the 14th,
wrote this wrong. It is written wrong. It would be the 17th.
Yes, it is Thursday.
Your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the radio. Come on. Let's get back to Sunday, July 20th. I think that's more of an important day.
The ice cream. Ice cream. Okay.
So you're going to spray kids down on Thursday, the 17th.
We'll have a fire truck there that will spray kids. We'll have water balloons, bubbles, and more.
Bubbles.
Yes.
Wasn't that Michael Jackson's monkey's name?
Bubbles.
I don't know, but I remember 4th of July, you're like, where are all these bubbles coming from?
Oh, they were everywhere.
They were everywhere.
Let me brag again about you. The vendors that you had out there selling food, that was a great job.
Really and the thing is, we didn't charge them to be there. They just give us a donation after they're done.
That's nice. Really.
How much watermelon did you have?
I did 12 watermelons. I only cut up 8 because the rain chased us off.
And then you ate the other 4?
No. I took one to Parks and Rec, gave it to them because I think they did.
Tyler's holding out on you.
He is. He's holding out on me. I need to give him a call.
So I took it over there and gave it to them because it was absolutely, his guys did a wonderful job and, all the praises. I gave one to the fire department. I gave one. There was a family.
You were made for public service, my friend.
Well,
you just were.
Yeah. I did eat.
That's a compliment.
I did eat one, but there was one family that came up and they were late for everything, and they didn't get the watermelon. So I reached in and I grabbed one of the smaller ones I had,
and just gave him the whole.
And I gave him the whole thing, and that little kid was smiling, and his mama was like, "You have no idea." I said, "Just remember who we are. Don't talk bad about us."
First of all, was that kid named Steve? Because I got that way. I got glassy-eyed in Giddings on Sunday. I was here. Saturday after I got back from the parade and bought 2 watermelons from Hebe.
They were good.
Here. Oh, they had great.
You say Hebe?
Hebe. H-E-B.
H-E-B. You've never heard it?
You never heard it called Hebe?
No.
Boy,
I've heard it called H.E. Butts because that's the...
Henry Butts.
Right.
Henry Butts. You know where their first store was?
I don't.
Kerrville, Texas.
Sure enough.
Look, you over there doing a lip reading.
I was trying to feed him the information.
We did a function the other day with all the city staff, and I was doing a mock interview, and Jared's on my team, and he's like talking, and I'm trying to look at the reporter, and then Jared's talking. I'm looking at him. He's like, "Well, I'm supposed to be silent about that." I said, "Silent? You're not silent. You're asking a bunch of questions." So I was looking back and forth trying to figure out who to look at when we were talking.
I never understood the term mock interview. Why don't you just call it what it is? It's a fake interview. Yeah, it's a fake interview. It's for fake news people.
Well, because it's Well, you can see, you can know you already answered your question on why we don't call it that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, look, it's been great talking to you boys.